Right, folks. Whoa! I guess it's going all over the counter. Do you guys see that? Anyway, I have a chicken that's been cooking for 8 hours and it is done. Look at that beautiful broth, which I'm going to let cool. I'm going to save and freeze it. Oh, it smells divine in here. I cook all our meat on high. Look at that. Doesn't that look so beautiful? So as you can see, I took the skin off it. So I'm going to cook the skin in the oven. There's quite a bit of nice skin. I'm going to cook it in the oven. I salted it. There's some summer savory on it. And it's going to turn out nice and crispy. Because when you cook it in here, you don't get crispy skin. I mean, it stays moist and soggy, so. But this chicken is the most tender chicken in the world. Look at that beautiful yellow broth. Oh, that's going to be so good to just have as soup. Or literally just drink as broth. Because the only spices in here is pink sea salt, cracked black pepper, and summer savory. So, delicious. It's a good meal for a couple of days. Alright guys, so earlier I cooked a squash. It was a butter cup or butternut. I don't know, the big green one. It was like this big. I cooked it in the oven for an hour. I cut it into 3 because it was so big. And then I peeled it from the skin. I saved the seeds. I saved some of the seeds. And a lot of the seeds I threw out for the birds and the squirrels. So people, or not people, but the squirrels, the squirrel and the birds will enjoy that healthy snack. So I want to save some of these seeds to replant the spring. And yes, I need to let them dry in the windowsill, and I want to plant in the spring when there's still some snow and it's cold, because it does something. It needs the cold in order to like do something. I forget it. It goes through, I don't know how to explain it. I'm not good with that, but I know it needs to be, you either pop them in your freezer before planting or just plant them in the spring before it starts getting too warm. Anyway, I'm just saving some of these seeds. I mean, I don't need them all. I'm not going to plant 20 squash, but I'll plant probably 6 because they might not all grow. And if they all grow, that's amazing, because my parents, my grandmother, my aunt, my neighbors, everybody loves squash. So anyway, I got more than enough seeds, but look at that. So these are just things that sometimes people throw away without even thinking about it. But if you're gardening at all, it's just a great. So the other day, I will show you, because these are definitely, these seeds here are beautifully dry. But this is from red pepper, yellow pepper, and green pepper. So I'm now going to bag it because they're fully dry. I'm going to label the bag and I'm going to put it with my seeds for the spring. So red, green, yellow, peppers. Now I do have mini peppers in the fridge, and I think I might get a couple of those seeds whenever I eat them. Boy, oh boy, does it ever smell delicious in here. So I got lots of seeds. They're nice and fresh. I don't want to lose that seed. There we go. But even if you don't collect seeds, if you're able to get the seeds, dry them out, and then put them out for the birds, seeds are seeds, and the birds would love them. It would help them, especially February, it says, is the worst month. And I have a fun fact for you guys, okay? Did you know that, what's that bird called? My head is saying canary, but no, I'm not. It's not a canary. A chickadee. A chickadee every day loses 10% of its weight. It needs to eat extra because it loses 10% of its weight every day from having to fly to search for food and all that. So that's a lot of weight. That poor little bird, you know, a lot of energy. And I don't know what it is for hummingbirds, but I know hummingbirds exert a lot of energy. So when me and Mom were out for groceries, they had like this big rack that spins. And I said, oh, Mom, look, they have their stuff out. So you guys know, so we have a perennial fruiting garden. So anybody who's new here, we grow strawberries, blueberries, blackberries, cherries, raspberries. We grow asparagus, rhubarb, kiwi, grapes. We do have 2 plum trees, but they have not yet to fruit, but it will come. Oh, we also grow gooseberries. Anyway, we eat every single one of those things, except the mini kiwi. Those, whoever wants them can have them, but, and we don't just grow enough for me and my husband, we grow enough to share. And it has been a major blessing for the whole family and the neighbors. Anyway, for the past couple seasons, I've also been focusing on planting perennial flowers to attract bees, butterflies. Wow, this is still hot from the, it holds the heat. Whew. It's hot from the crock pot that was here. But anyway, I saw something I like. So I'm going to be planting some annuals, which will only last the summer, but they will last the whole summer going into fall. Asters. I've never planted these before. Zinnias. Aren't they so beautiful? I've never planted those before, but they're so pretty. And my taste, I naturally go towards tall, high flowers because it reminds me of like a wild field. And I think that's so beautiful. So anything really tall. And also my colors are pink and purple. But I mean, there's obviously other colors in here. Cone flowers, you guys. I'm so excited. I bought 2 packages. I'm going to plant both. These are perennials, so they will come back year after year. Shasta daisy. My mom has these, and I'm going to plant both packs, and they are perennials. They will come back year after year. Now I want to focus on herbs as well this year, and I really want to grow just such a beautiful, I'm having a specific garden dedicated to herbs. So I got parsley, I got basil. I love the smell of basil. I love like running my fingers on it and just smell, it's therapy. Thyme, cilantro. I do want to grow rosemary. That's very important to me. And maybe dill. Whether I grow dill or not isn't going to be like, I don't know. It's not end all, but anyway, I definitely want rosemary. And that's for the herbs. I already have walking onions. They are perennials in our zone. And hold on, guys. Sorry. Let me turn you around. I can smell that cooking. Oh my gosh. It smells so good. Look at it sizzling. So the key for this, the skin for me, is to let it cook long enough where it's crispy. I don't like a soft skin. It has to be like my bacon. Like if you're trying to fold it, it's going to break because it's crispy. You know what I mean? Not burnt, but crispy. Okay, so what was I saying? So my herb garden. Oh yes, we have walking onions in our zone. They are perennials. They come back every year and they spread beautifully. Like if you don't want it to spread, you can pick them. Like if you pick out the bulb out of the ground, you can give it to somebody else. They can plant it in the yard, but it will spread. But it only spreads where the bulb falls in the fall. Like it looks so like whimsical. It's such a pretty plant if you've never seen it, and it tastes delicious, you guys. Oh my gosh. The stem part tastes just like a beautiful crispy green onion. And then if you pull out the bulb out of the bottom, obviously you're taking the whole plant with the root. And the bulb at the bottom is like a shallot. It's like that big, but it's a beautiful onion. And it's so tasty. But if you just cut the top green stem off and throw that in salads, in omelets, on pizza, on your nachos, like it is so refreshing. But if you want the onion, you can have it. But if you haul the onion out of the ground, just know that one plant is done. Like, it cannot spread. It cannot duplicate because you've taken out the root system. But once you get enough, you don't mind pulling out the bulb and enjoying the onion bulb because you have like 20 or 30 or 40 other ones all around it. You know what I mean? So you can kind of weed them out and eat them and enjoy them. They're so delicious. But they start in spring and they don't end. Like, come fall, late fall, they're starting to dry out and bend over, but they get up to like 3 feet tall. It's just such a pretty thing. It looks like a little fairy garden, you know what I mean, wherever they grow. So I've taken many different bulbs from our plants and I've put them in different areas of our garden. And I'm going to be looking for them this spring and moving into summer and see if they are growing, because I really hope they are. The past summer, me and my hubby would go for summer drives and fall drives, and we love that type of thing. That is something, it gets us out of the house. We love looking at homes. We always have this thing now, every time we go for drives, both of us are hunting for gardens, like whoever has gardens. And if we can pull over and look at it, and I would love to like literally stop at everyone's house and say, can I have a tour of your garden? But my hubby's more like, no, we cannot. But I've stopped at one person's home and I knocked on their door and she gave me a tour of her garden. And it was the most beautiful thing that I've ever seen. It was like they were on a cliff. They lived on a cliff and the river was on the other side. So you could literally see the river from where they were. They had a small piece of property, but the way they did their garden, like, let's say this was their property, they didn't just do their garden like a rectangle. They were so creative. They did it like walkways like this, like a zigzag. So all the way down, up, all the way down. So it made it seem like 4 times bigger than what it was. And they had different archways. They probably had 5 or 6 different archways. They had places to sit. She had things growing out of the ground, things growing out of buckets, buckets stacked on buckets. And it was just so creative and so full of nature. And I've never been to a place in my entire life where I've seen so many bumblebees. There was hundreds of bees, hundreds. I've never seen that in my life. And she had all the wild, like growing high flowers that I love. And anyway, it just inspired me to really start focusing on the perennial flowers that come back year after year as well, so that I can have that, what I love about her garden, in our garden too. So our garden is in progress. This summer will be the 6th or 7th year. I started gardening with a 4-foot by 4-foot square patch. And my first thing that I planted was strawberries, because I knew if I'm going to put work into this and effort, I needed to be successful. I needed to grow and I needed to stay alive and come back every year. And perennial fruit is tough, and they do that. They get better every year. They grow bigger. They come back, you know. So our strawberry garden must be going on, what is that, 5 years? I think it's 5 years, guys. Anyway, it's still producing such beautiful, sweet, juicy fruit. Like, oh, and abundance. So I'm really excited this summer to be making our homemade jam. I'm going to be doing freezer jam again this year. Oh, I got to go check on that skin. It smells like it's cooked. You guys see that? It's fully cooked. It's crispy. So, like I said, like bacon, I cook this crispy. Now you see the natural oils that started coming out of it. So all I do is soak up the oil as much as I can, I mean. And this is what I do. I kind of, oh, that's too hot still. Usually what I do is I pick up the skin, because there's still oil underneath. I'm just getting the oil on top. Oh, that's hot. There. See how crispy this is? Burning my fingers. Anyway, typically what I do is just lift the skin off of there and put it on a Kleenex, and that will absorb whatever oil was underneath, you know? but this is extremely hot. This smells extremely delicious. Woo! And I know a lot of people say skin is the worst part and all that stuff, but I'm going to tell you something. Skin has so many good, healthy fat in it. I mean, as long as you don't overdo it. If you eat the whole thing, I mean, it's skin. You know, you got to be careful. Everything in moderation. But this has collagen in it, and it's healthy fat. It's better than a chocolate bar fat or something processed fat, you know. There. See all the oils underneath? That's why I always put it like on Kleenex. And I don't leave these little tiny pieces either because they are good. And when this is cool, I put it in a baggie and put it in the fridge. And I'm telling you, it lasts in the fridge for a few days. And you just take out a nice chunk and snack on it. It tastes better than bacon. Like, it really, really does. So that's just going to cool. But let's finish our garden talk. Yes, so getting into gardening was one of the best things that I did. It has shown me so much joy, and it has shown me, like, when I'm in the garden, it's one of the easiest places for me to, like, talk to God and worship Him and thank Him, and I see His hand in everything. How can a seed, a little tiny individual seed, make something? It plants roots, it's doing its thing underground, and then it pops its head above the ground, and then it creates something so beautiful. And that is from our Creator, the Lord Jesus Christ. And it just, it gets me out of the house and outside where I have fresh air and the sun's on me. And now, mind you, through the years that we've been transforming our city property into our, like, secret garden, I have had help. I have yard guys that are a 50 out of 10, and they do the most amazing work, and they have done all the heavy lifting, all the heavy digging, all the big things, and I do the little things. I do the tiniest little things, so I'm still involved in my garden, but they created the big part of it. They did the heavy work, and now, because we invested in perennial fruit, perennial trees, perennial vines, they are no care. Like, they only need that extra love and care the first season until they're really rooted and, you know, but after that, they come back better and bigger and producing more fruit every year. So if you are a person who has been considering gardening and you're nervous about it, I would encourage you the way I was encouraged. Starting a garden, it can be expensive, it can be overwhelming, and it can be like a lot of work with no result. I've seen so many failures, and I myself have screwed up on a lot of things, but where to start is start small. Just a little 4x4 patch or 2x2, but put something that you can be blessed with no matter what. Like, if you live in a zone where you get all the seasons and winter and that, like, think about this, a high bush blueberry plant. When you buy them, they're small, they're babies, but you will start getting blueberries that first season, and they will get bigger. And depending on what variety of blueberry plant you buy, because there's so many, will determine how big your plant, how big the bush will get, and how big your blueberries will get. And I'm telling you, after the first season, it's no care. It takes care of itself. It grows bigger. Every year you get a bigger harvest. Like, we have, so 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 high bush blueberry bushes in our property. And we did not get them all in one year, so they're all at different stages. 2 of them are full-size adults now because they've been in our yard the longest, but we get so much beautiful blueberry harvest. And you can make jams, you can make pies, eat them fresh, add them to cereal, freeze them. Like, there's no limit to what you can do with them, and they're so good for you and your family. So if you just, hi Cuppy, what are you doing? She smells the chicken. Although I made chicken legs earlier and I gave them each one as a treat. So now she's trying to say she wants this chicken. You're going to wait till supper, dear, because they're going to have some chicken with us and some squash. But anyway, if you don't know where to start with a high bush blueberry, because you will get blueberries come back year after year after year, and it will get bigger and produce more fruit. And it won't be a waste of your time, you know. Cuppy, could you give me a break for a minute? You guys, look at her. Hold on. Show them what you're doing. She's over there licking her lips. What? What are you doing? You smell the chicken. You smell the chicken skin, don't you? Is that what you're looking for? You want to bite the chicken skin? Coco? I don't give one dog something and not the other, so. Here. Coco, come and get a piece of chicken here. Here comes Coco. You're over there snuggling. They love that. That's all the skin I'm willing to give up. That's it. The rest is for me. Yeah, guys, I could just talk about the garden all day. Anyway, if you are interested in my garden talk, like that is what has been on my mind lately, because we're into the colder months. And so it's a happy thoughts when I think of the garden, and I'm planning and excited and looking forward to it. And Lord willing, we get to go through another garden season and just be blessed. And if you want to know more, if you want me to have like a whole video about garden talk, let me know, and I'll gladly sit down and chat with you guys. Anyway, my dad's in the same place. He's so excited for his garden. And if you're new here, my dad has an even bigger garden than me, and he knows what he's doing. He spends hours and researching and all of that. Like, he also uses what's it called? Not fertilizer. Is it fertilizer? Our garden on our property, our entire property, is 100% natural. I did not bring anything into our property. I do not use Miracle-Gro or anything like that. I do, however, take advantage of what God made. So I use natural seaweed. I go to the beach and collect seaweed. Our neighbors save me their grass clippings. I use garbage bags full of leaves. Between all of my neighbors that are around me, they have given us 100 garbage bags full of leaves this fall. And I used every single one of them except 4. And come spring, I know exactly where I'll be putting the last 4. But we used 96 garbage bags full of leaves. So you guys can imagine how nutrient dense and rich our soil and property now is. And this is years. This is something we do year after year after year. I also use a ton of eggshells. Not only do we save our eggshells, but I have 2 other households saving their eggshells for me. And that just puts so much good things back into the earth when you're growing plants and that. And anyway, it's a blessing. It's a blessing, and it blesses my heart. And I know it blesses others and the animals and the birds that come to our property. Like, I get so excited to see every one of them. Last year we had a groundhog. We're in the city. We've had raccoons, birds. We have a squirrel that lives here. Anyway, they're all spoiled and well loved. And the birds stay to the front of the house where I have the feeders, and they don't go picking in the garden. So that's amazing. And our squirrel is not destructive. He is spoiled. He comes right up to the window when I go outside. When my hubby goes outside, our little squirrel comes right up to us. And now the raccoons, I love them. And I know they're just trying to feed their family and live. But they are something we really don't want around. So we haven't seen them all winter. But come late summer going into fall, when the fruit is ripe and ready, they're going to be around. Oh, Coco got to go to the bathroom. All right. Let's get the lunch can all packed. I'm going to make some homemade subs. As you guys know, I cooked a roasted chicken, so that is the meat we're going to use. I try to keep our things whole food, real whole food, and not processed as much as possible. Now, there are things that we use that is processed, but I try to greatly be aware and really, really limit that. So these are homemade subs from the bakery. Although I didn't make them, they are homemade. And they were reduced price. So I paid under $2 for 2 homemade buns. So they smell delicious. Oh my gosh. That smell of homemade bread. Yum. So let's get mayo on one side. I don't know if I should shred this lettuce or just put it on. This is so good, like, to have a sub, because not only is it going to taste amazing, but it's good for you, you know what I mean? If I see any spots on the lettuce, I'm going to take them off. This lettuce is not even old, but, you know, you got to eat stuff like that pretty fairly quick around here because all the stuff gets brought in. I mean, we're having winter, so that's about it for the lettuce. I think I'm going to add some chicken to it now. Look at how tender and juicy this chicken is. So this is what we're having for supper as well, but also to have subs for the lunch can, because like I said, it's real meat. It's not processed. Oh, this smells so good. Yum. I want to try a bite of the chicken. You guys, look at that. Oh my. Yes, thank you. That tastes so good. Okay. Let's get some cheese put on both. So this is just shredded cheese that I shred myself at home. It's cheaper that way. And apparently if you buy shredded cheese, they have stuff in it to keep it from like getting wet in the bag and sticking together. And I want to avoid that chemical, so we shred it ourselves here. Or most of the time I do, but there are times, like I find during the winter when I make pizzas, I get my hubby to shred it. Okay. So the only other topping, I want to put black pepper. Because usually when we get a sub from Subway, I always say salt and pepper. Yeah, I may as well put a little bit of salt on here. Why not? Salt and pepper. So I'm going to put some red onion and green pepper. And these subs, oh, it's making my mouth water. They're going to be 50 out of 10. Very delicious and healthy. And nothing processed. Well, mayonnaise, I didn't make it. So, however they do that. So, these subs are going to be loaded. They'll probably be a little bit for me to close, but oh, my battery's dying, so we lost the flash. I need to charge my phone. So, I'm just going to cut a piece of this beautiful green pepper here. Just enough for 2 subs. We go through a lot of fresh vegetables in our home. So let me wash this off here. I'm just cutting it nice and, well, I was going to say nice and thin, but I was cutting it, nothing was cutting, so cutting a little too thin for that. These subs will be very like savory. There will be a light crunch to them. Oh, it's so easy to go to the store and get a sub that's already prepared. You know, Subway. We typically get Subway. I try to get my hubby one of those each week because at least I know he's getting a lot of vegetables on it. But the meat's always processed, right? So that's why I thought today I'm making a chicken. I'm going to make him subs at home here. So watch how beautiful this is going to be. There, I'm just going to push. Get in there. I think I'll use the knife. Oh, there we go. Just kind of give it a squish down. There. Now that is a beautiful, healthy, homemade sub. Look at that. So it's a 6-inch sub. Wait, where did I throw my knife away? I needed it for this. Anyway, my husband can eat 2 of these, no problemo. He will enjoy these, but I know he's getting good, wholesome, healthy food. And it's a nice break from a sandwich, you know what I mean? The sandwiches are always good too, but this is a nice change. There we go. All right. So he has a spoon that I keep in a baggie so that, because he uses a spoon about 3 days in a row, then I switch it out, put a new one. So I'm just putting apple juice in this container. About 1/4, like it's right to about here, as you guys can see. And then I'm filling the rest with water. So he still gets the flavor of the juice while he's getting hydrated with water. That really cuts the sugar down very low. And this is how both of us drink our juice now. So I just wash this every day. I have a couple of them and we reuse them. Fresh crispy grapes that I washed. This is plain Greek yogurt. There's fresh strawberries and blueberries and flax seeds. And this is a healthy, delicious snack. I snack on that as well at home. So his subs, that. I had these in his lunch can for a bit. He hasn't eaten them yet, but it's just there in case he wants like an extra snack. But yeah, there we go. All right, guys, so the girls, they just want to eat. This is cool enough now that I can literally put my hand in here. See, there's still some skin left, but I'm not going to bother to cook the skin. Like, whatever's left is left, and that's it. It's going to stay there. So, I got to feed them their supper because they're pretty much telling me they can't wait any longer. So, typically, I would give them, look at that beautiful bone for making bone broth, or if you're making a stew, this bone is big enough that you could like put your vegetables and your meat, and this will help flavor your stew. My mom's the one that taught me to save the bones because they are so useful and flavorful. Was that the chicken or was that Cocoa and Cupcake making that noise? You always got to look for this bone. Always, in every leg, there's that bone, and that will be detrimental to a pet. So, but like, look at that bone. I save all chicken legs because I do bone broth. So I'm just going to roughly, like, this is so tender. Anyway, they're going to love it. But typically I would have gave them some squash and a little spoonful of vegetables too, but they want to eat now, and I'm not going to get that stuff out of the fridge because I made it earlier, so they're going to eat. Okay, dear Lord, please bless this meal. Thank you for providing it for us. And bless cocoa and cupcake in Jesus' name. Amen. One thing that's so important to me is to pray over the food, even for the girls. So now, I think I'll just chat with you guys while I debone the chicken, because that chicken is going to be for all of us, for me and my hubby and the girls, for the next 2 days for sure. Hopefully a little bit longer, but for sure 2 days. And then I can wash this dish. So all this chicken broth I'm saving, and it's going to go in the freezer so that the next time I need chicken broth for rice or stew or whatever, we have it, you know. There's so much flavor, you don't want to just let it go. And typically I'll cook like a roast for 7 to 8 hours and a chicken for 8 hours on high. So the meat is well cooked, but it's not dry at all. Like, this chicken is so tender and moist, and you could buy the worst cuts of meat and it's going to be such a blessing to the family, because the slow cooker will tenderize everything. Because it's hard sometimes when you get meat and it's tough. It ruins, you know what I mean? So, anyway, never with the slow cooker. Now, as I'm deboning it, sometimes I end up missing a bone or two. So before I feed it to the girls, I'm always checking with my hands. This is still a little bit warm now as I'm put my hand in deeper in the liquid. It's still a little bit warm, but see, there's a bigger bone that would go nice in stew. Here's some more skin. Oh, look at that big piece of skin. I'm gonna hang up the skin. I think I might cook it, because that's just too nice of a piece to. Here's another. I'm gonna save the skin. Hold on. Put it right there. Yep, I guess I will be cooking more skin. Here's another piece, because that's one of my favorite parts, especially for a turkey. Oh my goodness. Who else enjoys that? You know, when you're cooking a turkey and then you get to eat the skin. Oh, man. That skin, but I'm not keeping that. There's still a ton of chicken. Not a ton, but there's still a lot of chicken in here. There, that's a decent piece of skin. I'll keep that. The girls are literally, they ate their meal, and now they're at my feet just hoping in case there's any meat coming down to them, but I fed them enough. They had enough. Yeah, so all I gotta do is strain this water. And let the broth cool. And then I'll bag it, label it, and freeze it. A lot of people don't think to use Ziploc bags, but just put it on a cookie sheet till it freezes. That way, if it leaks by any odd chance, you have it saved with the cookie sheet. But I've never had issues, and then it freezes really well. And it doesn't take up as much room as containers. So there's something so comforting about cooking a real meal for your family, like having a chicken or a roast in the slow cooker or a stew. And I was out to visit my parents today, and I had a lovely visit. And when I walked in here, it just smelled so comforting and so good. And I knew, like, that's a good meal for my family. And it doesn't take me, it takes a lot of stress off me. Having something in the slow cooker, I can leave the house and feel comfortable. And anyway, and it cooks all day. That's skin, but I don't, that's too thick, too fatty. I don't like that. Anyway, this probably is the last piece of meat. I'm gonna wash my hands. But anyway, there's just something so comforting when you're cooking a homemade meal. During the winter storms, typically, I used to always do pizza. When we would have a storm, it would be pizza night. And this year, it went in a different direction. Every storm, I pretty much cooked meat in the slow cooker. It was just so easy, and it gave us food for days, you know what I mean? So it really worked well. It did. It really worked well. So now I got to strain that to get the broth. But this chicken, like I said, I still got to make sure with the bones. But for the most part, I think I got all the bones. It's just as a precaution. You got to check if I put anything on their plate. I got to double check it really well. Okay. So when I made this chicken in the roaster, I knew that I wanted to make extra chicken broth because I want it for the freezer. So I added quite a bit of water. I added probably like 1 liter to 1.5 liters of water to make this broth, because sometimes when I cook a roaster chicken, I don't add that much water. You don't need to add a lot of water, but I knew I wanted to save the broth. So okay. There, I'll be able to wash that and then put the slow cooker away. But this made quite a bit of beautiful, good broth. It's nothing like the broth that you buy at the store, the boxed broth or a canned broth. This is not like that at all. Anybody who makes their own broth, you guys know the difference, right? Like the flavor, the taste, it's uncomparable. The strainer I bought from the dollar store is awesome. I've used it several times already, but look at that broth. Look at that beautiful, healthy broth. So once that's fully cooled, I'll probably put it into 2 bags. So each bag probably will get 1 liter each. That's what I'm thinking, because there's about 2 liters there. Anyway, healthy, delicious, beautiful broth. They're best friends. All right, folks, here I am sitting at the table. I'm organizing herbs, perennial seeds and annual seeds for flowers, and I'm just kind of going through things. So writing it down really helps me. But my perennials that I'm planting this year, most of them are going to be seeds, but I did order 3 bee balm plants. So they're already started. They will come back year after year, and I guess the birds and the butterflies love them. So I definitely want them in our garden, and I'm excited. They're purple and they're tall, so I'm really happy to get those in. Now, I have poppies. I had these seeds right here. So as far as I know, they're going to be tall. They have sensitive roots. So germinates 20 to 30 days. Once they start to emerge, thin to 6 inches apart. Poppies must be watered during hot spells. I think these grow nice and tall, and that's exactly what they look like. One time I was at a yard sale, and a lady had a whole bunch of like orange poppies, and they looked beautiful because I asked her, what are those flowers? Now, they were very delicate. The stem and everything looked delicate, so I'm going to try to grow them here, but these are pink, and they're called Giganthium poppy. So I think these are going to be really, really tall. But my goal is to plant these, and when they grow, come fall, when they're starting to die off, I want to collect the seeds to plant other sections of poppies. That's what my goal really is for the perennials. Shasta daisies are perennials, so I'm going to plant 2 packs of those. They look beautiful, and my mom has these in her garden. And I want cone flowers. Now, I already planted seeds last year, so we'll see if they come up. I really hope they do. But I'm going to plant 2 packs, the purple cone flowers. And these ones get really nice and tall. Almost a meter tall, 60 centimeters to 90 centimeters. And the lady that I toured her garden, she had these, and they were so huge, and the bees in her yard were amazing. So I'm going to plant these sunflowers because they're really pretty in different colors. These ones only get 18 inches, so they're small. But my plan is to scatter these seeds in with like a mixed growing flower like this. These here are all annual, so I mean, they'll grow and all that and bloom all through the summer. This will only bloom in the fall. But all these little flowers here, like the asters, they're going to bloom all summer right into the frost. Don't those look so beautiful? And then these, I'm really excited. This was on my top. The 2 annual flowers that was on my top list was zinnias and dahlias. And guys, I've never been into planting flowers and gardening before until I started doing this as therapy, like 5 or 6 years ago. And now I feel like I'm learning so much over the years. Now I'm getting into flowers, but so zinnias and dahlias are going to be my probably favorite annuals. And they're going to add so much color. And I'm pretty sure the dahlias is like really big fat flowers. That's what I want. And then these morning glories, these are annuals in our zone, but in some other zones they're perennials. But I'm going to plant them in pots because it says that these can take over and be really aggressive. So even though they're just an annual, I'm going to put them in pots, and I might put a couple by the arbors so that they add color over the arbors. We'll see. But I'm excited. So I got all my flowers except the dahlias. I need to find dahlia seeds, and I'm pretty sure the dollar store sells them every year. And I got all my perennials. The only one I'm waiting for is the bee balm. And also I want 3 types of mulleins. So if you don't know what a mullein is, it's beautiful and it's big. It's massive, not only in height, but in width. Like one individual plant can be 1 meter wide and like 1 meter to 1.5 meters tall. And this here is very healing for respiratory. Like a lot of times mullein, the great mullein, the yellow one, was used for healing in your respiratory, your lungs and whatever. So I definitely want to have that growing in our property. And I want to learn more about it, but I want it growing in our property. And I think the bees will love it, and it's a perennial to come back. So I want to order these 3. I'm only ordering 1 of each, and then come fall, I want to harvest the seeds and plant them in clusters in other areas of our property. So I want Southern Charm, which is pink, Summer Sorbet mullein. It's 2 different shades of pink, so I definitely want that. And then the Great Mullein, that is the original one, and it's yellow. So I want all these 3, and I'm ordering them from the company, and the bee balm. So all these other ones are just going to be planted by seeds. And then I made myself a note, like what I want to do for fall harvesting the seeds. Last year, I harvested all of our hollyhock seeds. Now, I sent some to Jacqueline. I gave some to our neighbor, and the rest of them I used in our property. So I put lots of seeds along the arbor where we have grapes and along the fence. And my goal is that every fall I'm going to harvest the hollyhock seeds and continue planting seeds all along our fence. And these hollyhocks, when they grow over my head. Like, it takes a couple of years for the root system to get really, really strong, but these can grow up to 10 feet tall. So some of them are 6 feet tall, 7 feet tall, 8 feet tall, up to 10 feet tall. And they're just beautiful, and they stay flowering right till like November. And the bees, it's their survival thing for the cold, like the bees that are left behind. I mean, I seen the bees. If you guys watched my garden videos from last year, you would have seen the bees were still eating on it, and it was still blooming and flowering right until like late November. So I love hollyhocks. They're a very like ancient flower, and I just think they're so beautiful and special, and I just want our yard filled with them. So that's what I'm doing to save money, is harvest the seeds and can plant them myself. So we'll see how that goes if I'm getting hollyhocks growing where I planted the seeds last fall. And I think I will. I also want to harvest seeds from the coneflowers. These ones here, when they grow, I want to harvest those seeds and plant in other areas of our property. Plus, my mom wants some seeds from the coneflower as well. She wants to put some in her yard. And yeah, I'm like, my brain is just so excited about gardening. So this makes me happy. My herbs are here, but I need rosemary. So this is what I'm planting in my herb garden. I'm going to plant kale, and I'm looking for the kale. There is like a perennial kale, and I have yet to find it. So I'm just going to plant several kinds, and who knows? This one might be the perennial. It's a heirloom seed. This one looks kind of like, if it grows really tall, then it's the heirloom and it will come back each year. And I really hope that this is it, but we'll see. We will see. Anyway, so I'm planting kale, that kind and that kind. So there's different varieties. I'm planting this lettuce because we do lots of salads, and I would love to like eat off of our own in the garden. I'm planting thyme and parsley. And like, I'm really going to get so much use out of the herb garden, because not only will I add it to our salads and stir fries and omelets, but like, I will just be in the garden, like touching things and smelling it. And oh, it's going to be therapy. So cilantro, that's really, really, really good health benefits. Basil. There's many different kinds of basil, but I'm just going to plant this one. And then, like I said, I really want to plant rosemary, so I have to look for a packet of seeds. But so far, this is what I'm doing, just kind of going through the garden book. I have many, many plans in here. So, but I'll definitely like go through these things with you guys. See, this is for this year. And this garden book is so great. If you have a gardener in your family and you're like thinking, what could I get them for a really special gift? Like, this is a 4 or 5 year planner. I kind of forget. It could be 5-year planner. Oh yeah, it is 5-year planner. So this is my 2nd or 3rd year in the book already. So I just make myself all kinds of notes. And as you can see, I've been in this garden book. And plus, not only that, but it's really good. It's really good to have last year's. So that's 2026 right here. But like, this was the first year. This was last summer. Sorry guys for the, I'm trying not to get that shadow on there. But this is our hydrangea bushes. I was blessed with them from like a garden house. They had them on discount, like it was severely discounted. They looked mostly dead, and I bought them and I brought them home and planted them, and they did not bloom like for like 3 years. And then this summer they went full out. Look at their blooms. Look how big the flowers are and how green and full of life. And I don't know if you guys can tell from here, but like these greenery down here on the ground, that's all strawberries. And they grew beautiful, big, fat strawberries this summer. Oh, you can kind of see a strawberry, that red right there. That's a big, fat strawberry. But anyway, there was strawberries like all around this plant here and then coming up into here and all over there. Like you can kind of see my rhubarb growing there. Then I have, this here is a rosebush vine and it's growing up our arbor. So I'm looking forward to that growing more this year and tying it up on the arbor. This is strawberry rhubarb. And then on the other side where you can't see, like over here, is another strawberry garden. But I covered over it this year. We put 5 or 6 layers of cardboard. I really overdid it with the cardboard. You only need like 2 or 3 layers, but I like doubled that. I went like extreme with the cardboard. And then we topped it with tons and tons of leaves. I think I put like 6 garbage bags full of leaves and then sheep manure. So come this summer, I'm planting a new bed like of strawberries right there. So we won't be able to pick the strawberries this year. I will make sure to cut off all the strawberries, all of the flowers before they bloom, because I really want every bare root. I call them strawberry babies, but the real name is strawberry bare roots. And when you hear me mention strawberry babies, I'm referencing strawberry bare roots. So we will not let them, if they flower, the flowers are being taken off. We will not let them go to fruiting. And it forces the plant to focus all its energy and strength into the rooting. And the next year and the years after will give us the biggest, beautiful, most productive strawberries for years to come. So, but I have lots and lots of garden pictures, and I'm going to work on a gardening scrapbook. So if you guys want to join me while I work on that, I plan to do that next month in March. Because it's still cold, it's snowy, can't get outside much. So I plan to work on my gardening thing. But right now, I'm working in my planner. And this is my planner for 2025. And I just like wrote lots of different notes here. Updates on asparagus. What I've learned with asparagus is they sell different forms of asparagus. They sell the root systems, which are really expensive. And it's really complicated. Like you have to dig in the ground 6 inches deep. You have to make a trench and then build up a middle thing and put the root, like open it and let it, like an octopus, kind of open it and let all the little roots be on both sides. And then you got to cover it and all this stuff. But what I found that works best for me is preparing the ground and just throwing seeds, and they grow quick. They grow way better than spending like 5 to 10 times more of the money on the roots. And I've done both. I've done it by seed, I've done it by roots, and all the way I would recommend seeds. And so what I want to do in our back garden, if you have been with me this fall when we were doing some changes and upgrades to our garden, we made 3 long rows, 20 feet long, for new strawberries that we're planting this spring. And each strawberry row, like say this is a row, that's a row, there's like a walking path in between. And what I'm going to do is take one of those walking paths right here and put all like leaves and then sheep manure on top, and then plant all asparagus seeds, the whole 20 feet long. Because asparagus is a perennial and it's so healthy for your family. And it just keeps maturing and coming back better every year. And it's something good for your family, for your home, for your property. So I want to grow a 20-foot long row of asparagus in between the strawberries. And you're probably thinking like, well, how are you going to get your strawberries? So let me draw you a picture. So one thing I've learned about strawberries to make life easier for picking is to make sure you have a walking path to get your strawberries, because all of our strawberry beds to date, you have to put your foot in the strawberry garden or walk through it to get the strawberries. And I've fallen in the strawberry bush, like the garden before, and squashed a whole bunch of strawberries. I have squashed strawberries, stepped on them by accident, but it's only because we have such an abundant crop. And I never mind it losing a few, like when you step on them. But this is what we created last year. So this here is the rectangle in which the strawberry garden. So here's one row of strawberries. There's the second row, and here's the third row. Okay, so all along here is a walking path. And this walking path allows you access to this strawberry row right here. And on the other side, this strawberry row, okay? This walking path right here is not needed because we have access from here to this one and this one. And to get to this one, you just literally walk on this side and then you have full access. So this whole row right here is where I plan to plant the asparagus in between. I hope you guys can see that well. But this whole entire walk path in between this strawberry row and that will be full asparagus. And it always takes, like, even if you're planting it by seed and they grow quick, it will take 2 to 3 years of them growing before they're like big enough to eat. But I'm looking forward to that, and I'm planting it for the future. So just to have as much of a beautiful food garden and blessing as I can. And the more you can grow, if you're able to bless others with it too and share, it can be like a good bargaining thing. Like if somebody say somebody's really good at growing corn and you're not, or you just don't want to grow it, you could say, like, I will harvest you you make an amount of how much asparagus you'll give and how much corn they'll give you. You know what I mean? Like, you can do that with other gardeners. And in the garden community, if you build a beautiful garden community around you, like with the people who aren't too far away, you guys can help each other out and share seeds and share tips. And if something's not working right in your garden, they might have a solution. Or like vice versa. If something's not working great in theirs, you might be able to help them with an idea or a solution. So anyway, I don't know too many gardeners where I live, unfortunately, but I'm very happy with the things like my dad. Oh, I love going to his garden, but me and him, our methods are 100% different from each other. And I like the way I garden for me, and he likes the way he gardens for him. So, but I'm just looking. See, last year I ordered 3 high bush blueberries, and I wanted the Duke, and they couldn't get it in. I think they got me the Elliott. And the reason I wanted those specific ones is because they're the ones that get 6 feet tall and 6 feet wide. So if you want massive harvest of blueberries, the bigger the bush, the more harvest you're going to get. And that's why I wanted that. But yeah, they could only get a certain one. And you got to read, like, if it's self-fertile or not, because some of them are not. And you have to have, like, another blueberry bush close to it in order to, if your berries aren't growing, there's a reason. Like, we have a kiwi bush. It said it was self-fertile, but it's not. And it blooms. Like, we have the female plant. I looked into it. We have the female plant. We need the male in order to do its thing and make the fruit. So anyway, I'm going to be on the hunt for that as well this summer, the male. It's like a bigger kiwi. We have the tiny ones, they grow fine, but the big ones, we need the male plant. So, all right, so all natural compost. Our garden is a garden. Oops, I totally did not do a straight line. Our garden, I don't use any sprays, chemicals. I do not use anything that's not natural. So seaweed, untreated. This is very important. If you have neighbors that spray their grass, you don't want to use their grass. So untreated grass clippings. And if you have a garden that's large at all, you're going to want the assistance of your neighbors or your family. So the more you get of it, the better it is for your property, for your land. So I want seaweed, untreated grass clippings, leaves in the fall, of course, leaves, eggshells, coffee grinds. We have a very tiny coffee shop. And the lady, last year, I probably got 20 buckets of coffee grinds, 20 bucket loads of coffee grinds. Now, some of those I dropped off to my dad, but I use all the coffee grinds in the fall. I only collect the coffee grinds in the fall. And what I do is I put them over like where the raspberries are, where the blueberries are, over the strawberry gardens. And it does all good things for the earth for over the winter. And then come in the spring, your strawberries, the soil in that has all the things in it that it needs. You know what I mean? So with our raspberries, we used to have an issue where we weren't getting many raspberries. And I learned, like, I need to help it. So now we load garbage bags full of leaves around it in the fall. And that fixed the problem. Now we're getting beautiful harvest of raspberries, and we get 2 separate pickings. Like I think in August we get a picking, and then in September we get another picking. And it's beautiful. So these are things that are free and available to most people and are easy to attain. So like you could ask your family or a couple neighbors to save your eggshells, coffee grinds. The best for me, because I need so much of it, is going to like a local small coffee shop. I bring in a bucket, I leave it there. I go the next morning when they open, I give them an empty bucket, I take the full bucket, and it works that way. And I love that. Leaves, we have 3 neighbors helping us. And like I said, this fall that just passed, we had 100 garbage bags full of leaves. And I only have 4 garbage bags full left that were unused. So that shows how much leaves we put into our property. And they break down fairly quick. They break down a lot quicker if you mulch them. But because I'm using leaves in so much bulk, I don't have the time to be mulching 100 garbage bags of leaves. So we just put them in full as they are. And they break down. And you guys, if you dig your hand into our dirt, like you dig your hand in and pull it up, you're going to have a handful of beautiful fat worms. And in my vlogs last year, I was like digging in the dirt, showing you guys. Some of the worms were almost like a snake. They were so fat and big. I've never in my life seen worms that size. And they were like earthworms, you know what I mean? Seaweed, the best time to obtain seaweed is in the spring after like a major rainstorm, because the ocean pushes up the seaweed. And that's the best time that I've ever known to go collect all the seaweed that you want. And we have a specific place where, like through the winter storms, a lot of seaweed gets washed up onto shore, onto land. And then in the spring, the plows go to clean it up and they put like a big pile of it. And then before they haul it away, I always go and get as many garbage bags full as I want. I haven't gotten any last year because, like, for the past 4 summers, I've been gathering seaweed. So now we're taking a break from seaweed. I don't think I'm going to get any seaweed this year either, or next year, because we have enough minerals from the ocean and salts from the ocean in what I've collected over the years. So now our land can take a break from that. But it offers, like, seaweed is a living thing, and it holds so much minerals and salts and nutrients from the ocean. So anyway, I hope you guys are enjoying all my garden talk, because I enjoy it so much. I really do. Like, you know how they say people have garden fever? Well, like, I get so excited thinking about the garden and like all the joy it brings me, and planting and seeing our property is going to transform. I can't wait to show you how dirty and empty it looks in the spring. And then as it transforms into the most beautiful, like, blessed property and land, like, oh, such a blessing. Anyway, guys, I'm going to let you go for now, and I'll chit chat later on. So for anybody new here, these are the barrels that I use for gardening. That was gifted to us by our friend, and he came over and helped us cut them right down. Look at that. And they're wonderful for gardening. So this is a recap of our garden, early spring. And I just want to show you guys last year's garden so that you can look forward to this year, what's all coming. Blah, blah, blah.
And then look at, so this bush here and that bush, this here's our mini kiwis. These are grape-sized kiwis. See how it wraps up around there all by itself? That does that all on its own.
You'll see some things that we did changes in our garden, like on this video of last year, you're going to see tires throughout the garden. All those tires have been taken away. Coco and Cupcake, they look forward to being outside and in that garden and running and playing and just living their best life.
And all I'm going to do, guys, seaweed, compost, and get gardening in it. And it will get sun on. Going to be, hey, could you seriously get out of there? You guys, they're literally digging in my seaweed where my strawberries are going to be planted. Okay.
Oh, Rachel. The beautiful thing about gardens is that they really do change throughout the years. You learn what works and what's not working and what you can do to make it better. Our garden has really grown and I'm so thankful.
Tomatoes, corn on the cob. I did green pepper for our zone. We're a little too cold, so, but I'm going to pray over it and hopefully we see them for years and years and years to come. You guys, just being out here right now, my heart, just seeing this, what you're looking at, makes my heart incredibly happy. So this teepee, our yard guy made for me, it's just, this is my lavender. I know it doesn't look, my hubby thought it was dead and he was going to pull it, and I said, no, it doesn't turn green. It stays like a white mossy color, like a sage. And
that is our lavender just starting to come back to life. You guys can see the strawberry garden here. There are so many beautiful strawberries. They are just coming to life. But we covered over that to make 3 20-foot strawberry rows. Just because 2025 we had, hold on, I muted the video, but 2025 we had major heat wave that lasted months. And we had major drought, so we lost our strawberries. So we fixed the garden to prevent loss if we have major heat wave and drought again. We fixed it. But as you can see, those strawberries, that's still spring, and they are like turning green and all coming to life, and we had beautiful harvest. So we no longer have the pools or the tires. We got rid of that.
Tulips all set up here. It looks so pretty. Now, if you guys seen my earlier, but I'm getting flowers, guys. I was like, why are they not going to flower? But look, this one, although it's...
What I'm trying to show you is in this video is the hydrangeas that I got on sale. And that was their first year of blooming. So I guess it wasn't the summer that just passed. It was the summer before. But you can see all the buds on it. And it was so beautiful. And last year it was big and just full. And what a gift it is. What a gift. Now over here what you're seeing is our strawberry rhubarb, strawberry rhubarb right there, and beside it, oh, I guess I didn't show you.
Very developed lilac bushes, purple and white.
You can kind of see a strawberry garden, but I'm going too fast, so this is just early spring.
Strawberry rhubarb. This is amazing, and it's a way easier.
That's the strawberry garden that is right by our strawberry rhubarb. And we also covered over that and are planting new this year because of the severe drought and extreme heat wave that we had last summer. Now what I'm showing to you right now, that was the year we planted our asparagus. So I guess the summer will be the 3rd year, and they've been coming up beautifully every year. So we're going to have a good harvest this year. All right, so this is a peek of our back porch. I'm sitting on a swinging while I'm chatting in the video. But as you can see, we have a huge back porch, which I'm so thankful for. We really enjoy that. and I'm just kind of showing you the backyard. As you can see, the grass is turning green in this video. That's a view where we went to collect the seaweed. I was just enjoying the moment. My hubby helped me.
Sun is just coming up and it is chilly.
I take you guys through a lot of garden walks with me throughout spring, summer, and fall so that you fully see the changes that I see and you guys get to experience it. You get to see it, what it looks like in early spring when everything just is not blooming and it looks dirty and that, and then you get to see it as it's blooming and coming up. Look at that. These are the strawberry babies in the garden that I planted a new strawberry garden. There's Coco, or Cupcake. Chives, walking green onion.
And these tires here are ready to go for gardening.
Tires are gone.
The yellow beans. That's the only plant that I have been neglecting.
All right, so here you're seeing our raspberries coming to life. I don't know if I'm going to turn back over and show you, so I'm just going to rewind it a little bit. But this is where we have our blueberries. It's kind of hard to see, they're camouflage, but we have a good load of blueberry bushes, and they're all at different stages. That pink pool has the oldest high bush blueberries in it, and we get such a huge picking from it, a harvest. It's so wonderful. So you guys, what I'm showing you now is a cherry tree that had so many blooms. And this is our very favorite strawberry patch. This is the beginning of everything. It's the 4 by 4 foot strawberry patch, and it is early June bearing. And they're our favorite strawberries. They are smaller, but they are so juicy and so abundant. And they're the strawberries they're the first fruit, our first harvest. And it is just such a wonderful blessing. I get so happy when I'm like watching these videos. It's making me so happy. You see all the different stages, you know, when they're just waking up after the cold winter and starting to come alive and turn green. You always got to haul out grass and weeds, whatever, when you see it in there, because it competes for nutrients. So we're getting ready for our very first bonfire of the year here, guys. Things like this is so nice to do because it's free. It gets you outdoors. You can have your family come over. Oh, and there's nothing better than the smell of a bonfire and hearing the crackling of the bonfire. As you can see, our bonfire went into the evening. All right, so you're getting to see some tulips, and I'm not sure the name of the purple flower, but look at the tulips. They're so beautiful. We have strawberries throughout wherever I could plant them because they really do grow big and beautiful and abundant. They really do.
Wow, look at this healthy weed. Look at that big weed. I'm going to leave it. There they come. But yeah, this is a view of the garden from here. Can't wait to get my second row of strawberries in, and everything's coming along just beautifully.
All those tires are gone, gone, gone.
Looks like, guys, from up here.
I didn't realize that the toxicity of rubber would seep into the ground. And after I was told that and looked into it, I realized, like, how could I not even think that? But I honestly didn't think of it at all. So the majority of the tires are gone. The tires we kept are the tires to help stabilize. There's 2 arbors over there in the corner by the fence, and they are for that purpose, to help stabilize. But all the other tires are gone. Look at Cupcake. The girls they're as blessed by the garden as me and my husband are. So you're kind of getting to see how big our back deck is. Like, it's huge. This is something else that I'm majorly looking forward to, is getting out to all the greenhouses. This is something that brings me so much joy. Like, I will go to every greenhouse. I would go every day if I could. I just love being around this life and all the plants and the colors and just seeing God's beauty. So come spring, summer, going into fall, greenhouse, I love going. Even if I don't buy anything, I just enjoy being around it. As you can see, our garden is starting to form.
That's the summer squash, which is going to do.
Got a few things planted. This is still early spring, so it was time to get things planted.
I see something coming up. Could that be corn?
Usually that garden that you're seeing right there, that's usually where I grow corn and tomatoes, and they have wonderful success. Well, the tomatoes always had success. Sometimes the corn does not.
Yeah, I got a pack of 4. We're going to have these before fall.
I'm showing you our grapevines right now.
Be ready to eat till the fall, but guys, I don't know with this heat. Okay, so do you guys notice any new?
Look at the flowers. That is lupins. They're yet to grow. They do grow, but it's just too early there for them.
So this will be safe. And I feel like the same as this.
I got these lupins free from a parking lot. Dug them up, and they survived the winter, and now they come back here in our yard every year, and it was completely free. But along with perennial fruit and growing vegetables and whatnot, I am focusing on flowers as well. Look at the beauty of them.
And this is what they're called. Bumbleberry perennial.
Salva. Okay.
Planted and they're healthy and just
Look at those lupins. These are from a greenhouse.
This here was the other flower I bought yesterday. And
this is so pretty when it's blooming. It's called Jack Frost.
How pretty is this? And it's perennial. So
it's beautiful.
Was
now what I'm showing you here is our kiwi vines. You can see all the fruit balls there. This grows thousands of kiwis for us every summer. It is so beautiful. They are the miniature grape-sized kiwis, and they are wonderful.
What a blessing.
All the kiwi.
And it's pretty. So full of life.
You can see the garden progressing.
I picked more zucchini.
I have zucchini growing, tomatoes growing. Wow, I'm really like making myself dizzy. Hold on.
And then I'm going to replant the seeds, but I got a beautiful watermelon growing right here.
Look at that watermelon. And it was so sweet.
I'll try to set you up so that you can watch me. I'll set you here. Yeah, let's watch me haul and then plant. I really hope that you can see. But the reason I want you to see is, and Cupcake's out here. Coco is too. Coco, where are you? Coco! 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 So yeah, I think today possibly might be a new friend. I can tell she has a good heart, and she's going through stuff, so I can't fix any of it.
I'm trying to show you guys the
be there for each other.
corn.
So yeah, that is hauled, soil ready, and replanted. I don't have to put second. Plus, I have my oh wow, hold on. I see some type of vine that's not supposed to be here.
This is when I discovered we had an invasive vine that took over this strawberry garden. And it really did take over. It smothered out our strawberries.
More strawberries.
While I'm doing it, I'm finding a few strawberries. Look at, you see how big our strawberries grow?
Hold on. All right. So what I was saying is this here is a squash plant. So I'm going to get squash. But there's so many strawberries coming. Look. More in there.
You guys see the strawberries that are growing in there?
It's chilly this morning. Oh, yay. Look at this big fatty. Look at that, guys. It's not ripe enough yet to take, but it's coming. Because it will try to, oh, you guys. Look at this fruit. This is absolutely amazing. Oh no, this one's starting to rot. I lost one. Oh no. Shoot, it was touching the one with the rot.
Look at these flowers that bloomed in our garden. I think they're called Lazy Susans.
Look at, now they're in our yard, they're alive.
And those are ones that I also got free, took from a ditch.
They're kind of dying off, but but they're beautiful. They're wildflowers, so these will spread here in this area. And then I have the real big flowers.
The area where I'm showing you is where we have a ton of hollyhocks that grows there, and they're so beautiful.
I don't know if they have enough seeds. It gave me so far about 10 zucchini.
That zucchini plant was just growing zucchini in such abundance. I've never seen a zucchini plant to grow as much zucchini as this one grew.
So there's two. This might be a good one here too. That possibly, but that one is dying. That one.
And this is with no fertilizers, guys. This is all natural.
Went from summer heat wave.
Look at how big it got, the whole plant. Look how huge that is.
To now fall like weather. It is chilly. Okay.
All right, you guys can see the grapes. They are growing and forming, and they are in such abundance. Now, these are the seedless grapes, and this variety is the strawberry apple.
With this heat, it seemed to just accelerate everything this year. Aren't they beautiful? You guys, I can still smell that.
Those flowers grow in our yard too.
So here's the two holes where the hit. What stinker? Saying hi to everybody. Good morning.
As you can see, I did a lot of green beans in the tires. They were very abundantly growing. I jam-pack the seeds and they grow wonderful. So here, this is a squash plant.
Anyway, look at this squash.
And I'm looking for squash. Oh, there's one hiding right there.
The squash stuck in the fence is probably finished growing.
You guys, here's just a quick little overview of Dad's garden. He's setting up his fountain that I got for them.
Every 3 days he disinfects it all. So that's what he's
The birds really flock to that fountain for... Now look at my dad's corn. You guys see that? He grows the best, sweetest corn in the world. So throughout garden season, you're not only going to get to come in my garden with me, you will get updated tours of my dad's garden too. And I know a lot of people really enjoy that.
Look, one here on one stick. This is his squash, I think. Squash.
Mom and Dad love squash so much, and Dad grew quite a few squash.
They are...
Look how big that squash is.
Look at that. And then I got
Look.
these for Father's Day. They're the plastic. It lifts them up off the ground, lets water through. So that's awesome. You guys can see in there. See that big fat white squash? And then there is one. They're gonna look nice and big. Now him and my mom prefer the yellow. Wow.
Dad grew several kinds of squash. Look at them, you guys. Dad gets so excited about his garden too. It's definitely a beautiful therapy for him.
So hot. Oh my gosh, there's butterfly. You got, look how tall that is. And it's so pretty. It smells so sweet in this garden. Called, but they are starting and they're getting ready to bloom. Look at, there's one bloom, but there's this one, all those here and here. These guys are still growing. Now these are the little pink ones. These are not the ones. Plus I picked some strawberries. Me and Cupcake just had some earlier. See, I didn't pick these ones in time. Oh, no, this one's damaged. Right there. Just being thankful.
You guys can see that strawberry garden just really filled in.
But yeah, here we are, October, still getting strawberries, guys. I mean, this
That is one of the strawberry gardens right there. That is, look how beautiful it is and how high the strawberry plants are. But we lost it because that garden is where this invasive vine came and squashed. It literally smothered all those strawberries. So we decided to get rid of the strawberries altogether and plant thornless blackberry bushes there, because whether there's a vine or not, it will not kill the thornless blackberries. So
but these two gardens, I mean, this one, yellow beans made up for, this is our second picking. So the peas are...
I love to go out in the rain and make these videos because there's something so peaceful and relaxing about hearing the rain dripping. and coming down. We have a tin roof, so when you're hitting here in the rain, hitting the tin roof is just so therapeutic. We have a lot of different kinds of peonies. I guess they've already bloomed, so, because that's the seed pods right there.